Hey folks, I'm Dave Isaacs, and today we are going to take a look at one of my favorite Steely Dan tunes, Kid Charlemagne. Now, we're going to do an analysis of the harmony because it's really cool the way they work all these various pieces together, and take a look at, of course, Larry Carlton's iconic guitar solo, which is a lot of people's top favorite Steely Dan guitar solos, and there are many great ones to choose from. Now, I'm going with a straightforward version of the chords. I'm not really worrying about the voicings that were necessarily played on the recording. I don't think that's necessarily what we need to think about. I want to put this across partly just to show you what's going on so you have an understanding of the song, but also versions of the chords that work well even if I were just playing and singing it. So, the song is arguably in A minor more than anything else. We start off with a C, actually a C7. A lot of people will play a C7 sharp 9. This is down here, 5th string, fret 3, fret 2 on the 4th, fret 3 on the 3rd, fret 4 on the 2nd. This is C7. This is C9. Here's sharp 9. And the reason for that is that we have both the major third and the minor third. That's your sharp 9. We're treating that as really like a raised 2. But the definitive sound, I think, on that vamp is this hammer-on. It's in the keyboard, but it sounds good if we play it. I'm going from fret 8 to fret 9, and what this is a minor third to a major third on a C7. So I would play this part, 3, 4. I think that gives you the sound we're looking for. Now, I say that I hear this song in A minor because even though this is where we start, it's clearly a tension, and we come down to this A minor, and it feels like a resolution. This is the beginning of the verse. So, A minor, G6, which I'm playing as a standard E-shaped bar, but moving my pinky to the 2nd string, 5th fret, and I am muting my D string. F6-9 we get if we do basically the same thing. We move down to the 1st fret, but I'm going to move ring and pinky to string 2 and string 1 at the 3rd fret. There's your F6-9. The 6th is here on the 2nd string, the 9th here on the 1st, and we still have F root and a major third. So, A minor, da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. Da 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 da, and a twist, ba ba da ba da da. B flat 13. It's a flat 2 in A minor. It sounds great, and it definitely resolves with this nice half-step tension. B flat 13. I am playing fret 6 of the low E, fret 6 of the D. We're muting the A string, fret 7 and fret 8. And notice I am shifting up the neck because I like the way this chord sounds up here, but listen to the common tone between the F6-9, two of them actually, a D and a G, and then same D and G, and arguably the A natural drops to A flat. So keep in mind, these are written on keyboard, right? And when you think of keyboard voicings, it's much clearer when you go from one chord to another. Even if in your brain you're going, does that belong? It's not in the key. You can see the close connection from note to note. Whereas if I'm shifting, now I could play B flat 13 here, but I don't like it as much. It's kind of clunky. It doesn't sound as good. And you could play F6-9 up here, which is starting from the A string, 8, 7, 7, 8, 8. But in terms of supporting the vocal, I want the low bass. Here it is again. G6, F6, 9, B flat 13. Now, all of this could be explained in the key of C, but again, I am hearing A minor as the tonal center, and when we get to the solo, I think you'll notice this as well. So, continuing on, F6, G, A minor, G6. So that's that same stuff, right? Just up and down. First twist, D minor 7, G6, F6, which we could just take that same voicing we've been using. I kind of like going to this, just because it brings out more of the high notes. It makes a contrast from where we were. And then E minor 7, up here 7th fret, F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, and back. Now, there's a sense of resolution to that C also, so it's ambiguous. A minor, C major. Does it really matter? Not really, because it's shifting around. That's part of the idea, is our tonal center is going to move. But listen to all this. So we're starting. Resolve. G6, F6, 9, B flat 13, A minor, G6, F6, 9, B flat 13. Now we get this climb of F6 and G, A minor, G6, figure, wah, 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 E minor 7, ba, ba, ba. And then at first we go back to the C7. The second time we go right into the chorus. And this time we've actually anticipated the top of the chorus because we have 1, get along, E minor 7, get along, kid Charlemagne, D minor 7, E minor 7, F7, continuing the climb, 8, 10, 8, 10, G7, which is 4 and 5 resolving into C. It's just all 7th chords. So that makes a case for C major. Never mind that it's a 7th chord. In the blues, it's perfectly common for a 1 chord to be a 7. Now, go through. Second verse goes to the chorus, like I just said. We come back to here. We go through a third verse, chorus again, and then into our solo. So we have this same D minor 7. Get along, kid Charlemagne. Get along, kid Charlemagne. F7, G7, ba-da-da-dum. Now we have this set up for the chorus. If we are thinking in C, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to play an E minor 7 flat 5, which is not in the key of C, but what it is a 2. This is 7, 8, 7, 8 on the 4 inside strings. A7 like this. Notice I'm keeping the common tone G with the pinky. So 7, 8, 7, 8, and then open bar shape, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8. This is a 2, 5 of D minor. And we have a little figure that goes on in the background. Fret 2, 4th string, 2nd string, fret 3, fret 5, 7 and 6. Parallel sixths, it's hard to say. Now we're into the solo, which is going to start off on this D minor chord, D minor 7. Descending bass, you would notate the chord as F/C, but it's really just taking the D minor 7, dropping the bass to C. Then we go B minor 7 flat 5, 2, 3, 2, 3, E7, and I like that same voicing of keeping the 7th. So this E7 is open 6, 5, I'm muffling the D, first fret, sorry, open 6, second fret of the 5, muffle the D, first fret of the G, third fret of the D. So E minor 7 flat 5, A7, da ba da da, D minor, descending bass, bass goes to B, B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 is 2/5 of A minor, and now we walk down G6, F major 7, or let's do it here. Interesting, C sus2 over E. It just looks like an E minor 7, right? But this is actually what Donald Fagen calls the mu chord, at least the way that he plays it on a keyboard. The voicing doesn't work as well, but a mu chord is when you have a first inversion of an add 9. So you end up with a half step between the 9 and the third. So technically, I guess it would be this. Would be in root position, but then that's the voicing I wanted. But this sounds so good coming off the F major 7. Now I'm not playing a C, so you end up hearing E minor 7, I think, but with the keyboard playing that other voicing, you would definitely get that sort of mixed sound. The mu chord is interesting. It shows up in Peg, where we have a C add 9, sorry, a C major 7, and then this voicing, which is basically a G over B with the root replaced with an add 9. I don't have the whole step A to B voicing you would have in the keyboard, but that's the idea. So anyway, that was a digression. We have this. Let's walk through the solo chords so far, and then yes, I know you want me to get to the solo, but you have to understand these underlying chords to really see what's going on. E minor 7 flat 5 A7, setting up D minor, bass descends to C, then B, B minor 7 flat 5 is 2/5 in A minor, descending G6, F major 7, we could do C mu like that if we want, or like this, D minor, and then some of the charts you will see online have a quick B7 here. I am not convinced that I actually hear anybody playing that chord other than Carlton playing the, but we'll talk about that when we get there. This is setting up a new tonal center. B7 is 5 of E minor. We descend D6, different fingering, C major 7, and a quick turnaround, E minor 7, D6 over E, which is just keeping the bar. We jump then to A minor again. This is borrowing from the verse. We descend G6, the F6 9, the B flat 13, and then basically, I suppose what we might call the channel of the pre-chorus, this walk of F, G, A minor, G6. Here is the figure from the verse, D minor, G6, F6, E minor, F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7. Okay, that's your background. Now, let's talk about the solo. I am referring back to a transcription from Ultimate Guitar, which I think is accurate. I do have the Pro subscription, which does make a big difference in terms of the accuracy of the tabs. So, the first lick of the solo is pretty clearly A minor pentatonic. Except it's over a D minor chord, so what we're getting is a 9th, a 7th, and then 9 to 8. Bam, bam, da da da. Wah boo doo doo, But that D is over the B minor 7 flat 5, setting up A minor, and then this. If I play that on its own, that is C major pentatonic. 8th position, 9th fret, and then 8, 10, 8, bend, let it down, and slide. But that's going over boo ba ba ba, boo ba ba da wee da doo 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 wa dee ah. So we have this C major tonality against this A minor descent. Now, yes, A minor is the relative minor of C major, so this is also A minor 7. Boom, ba, ba, da, wee, ah. But notice how over G6 we get the 6, 5, wa, da, da, right off the G, wa, dee, ah. Over the F, 6, 9 is hitting the 5 and the 6. He's hitting all these chord tones. It's fantastic. And then, this is the coolest lick in the whole solo. And this is where, when I was first listening to Steely Dan years ago, my brain went, I don't understand what just happened. But we're over a D minor, and so he's just sliding. Once again, he hits a lot of ninths. The ninth, or the 2, into the minor third of D minor. Here's a D minor chord. So we're just walking up a D minor arpeggio, D minor 7. But then just by going up a half step, 11th fret, 14th fret, this is D sharp, F sharp. It's the 3rd and the 5th of a B7 chord. Like I said, I'm not convinced I hear anybody else hearing it. I think Carlton, maybe anybody else playing that B7, I think Carlton was going, ooh, wait, I can go a half step. This is setting up the E minor that's coming. And once again, look at this. We're on a 9th. But then he bends up to that minor 3rd, so we get sliding 9 to 10, 10, 13, 10, slide to 11, 14, 11, 14, bend. Now we're over an E minor. Let it down. There's your 9th. Here's a little E minor pentatonic. The addition of the 9th, but we can accept that. Now, what I would do here is I would look to land on a bar. Get that first string, 12th fret, with the edge of my finger so I can grab 12 on the 3rd string with index, slide up, and then this is 15, 17, 14, 15, 14, 15, 17. Remember, at this point, we're descending E minor, D6, and what does he do? This is a D. So we have A minor, E minor, sorry. D, which, by the way, another 9th. C major 7. This right here, C major 7 chord. And then things get funky again. I'm going to jump down to 9, slide to 16, but I'm going to do this with my middle finger so I can set up 15th position. This is G major pentatonic. And then that's a B minor triad. Although I think you arguably almost hear that as a G major 7. So check this out. This lick. Sliding from 9 with the middle finger. So, index, ring, jump up. B minor triad, but that's putting us solidly back in G, and then, well, this is an A, we're over A minor again. So ninth to the root, once again. Minor third, ninth, or second. We're descending A minor to G, and look at this. This is G major, or G6, because here's the 6 to the 5, so it's slide 5, 7, 8, 9, 7, 10, 8. Then this wild lick. Tricky to bend that whole step with pinky, but I think this is the best way to do it. Now again, I've been talking about C major. Here's a C chord, C triad. C6, or C major pentatonic. There's the root, there's the ninth. Jumping to the high third, there's the 6. So, remember though, this lick, it looks like C major, but we're playing over F major 7. Look, here's the major 9, major 7. Absolutely brilliant the way that he superimposes different triads on top of each other. I love this. This is also my other favorite lick. Because it's a C7, really, or C9. There's the ninth, the 7th. I'm in the 8th position, and we're going 10, 11 on the B string, 8 on the high E. So that's an enclosure on the C, the note above, the note below. And then walking down from the 7 to the 6 to the 5. So there's your C triad again. And then chromatic from the root to the major 7 to the minor 7. Okay, great. C7, except we're playing over B flat 13. What? Let's see if I can sing it. Woo, woo, doo, woo, doo, 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 doo. Woo, doo, 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 doo. So what's going on there? We have third of B flat, the root, the ninth, the major 7, the 6, a sharp 11, a 9, and descending to the root. How freaking wild is that? It's so cool. And then we're walking F to G. So this is F6, 9, really, because we've got, no, sorry, the 6 and the major 7. So, we do that over F. Ends on the 3rd. So, this is a G triad, 9, 7, 8. And the timing on this, 3E and 4E and 1. 4E and How cool is that? Look at my fingering. Slide 3, 6 to 7. 4, 1, flatten, ring, ring, up. And then it's an A minor. And then we have a D, but hitting a ninth. And then an E minor. That's really E minor 7. Just with this chromatic filling in 4, 5, the 4th, the sharp 4, the 5th. And then what's going on here? C triad again, chromatic, C9, and C7. But what's going on over that? Remember, this is where those ba, 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 da, ba, da, 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 da. So we're getting this Ba-doo, ba-doo, boo, ba-doo, doo, ba-da, wee, da, da. It's hard to put that together. But it's going on above the D minor, E minor, we're walking on, there's that F major 7. Then this B flat, which is taking us back to the C7. And then bending the 10th fret up a half step is the 6 to the flat 7. Let it down, there's the 5. This is the minor third to the major third. And then down here to the 7th fret, that's the 9th of C, up to the minor third of the sharp 9. If we then tap the 14th fret, since the string is bent, what you're getting is another B flat. So, and then let it down. It's just absolutely brilliant. So, I'm going to play this whole thing through again, lick by lick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Notice the pre-bend, and then 8th position. Slide. Sliding into 10th position. Slide up, and then up. 12th position. 14th. 15th. We have this jump. It's the middle finger just jumping down and back. 15th position. 14th, sorry. 15th position. 5th. And then sliding 5, 7 puts us in 7th position. 8th position. Notice my fingering. 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, bar, pinky, and it's, I think that's the only thing that makes sense is the pinky bend, and then tricky to get the whole step, but if it's a half step, it still works. And then this fantastic 8th position, and now 5th, sliding into 5th, into 7th, 8th, 7th, slide, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. There it is. There's more of the song, there's the outro, but I think this gives us plenty to play with. There's also that outro solo, but this is a large chunk of material to absorb. If I want to be thorough, the outro is borrowing the descent from F major 7, our C mu, C sus2 over E, D minor 7, E minor, C major 7, and then we walk up. E minor 7 sets up F major 7, and we're walking down again. D minor 7, C major 7, so it's just a walk down. And it fades from there. There is that last outro solo, but we want to concentrate on that amazing one in the middle, and Larry Carlton's fantastic use of superimposed triads to create a solo that is so smooth and fits so perfectly, even though technically the notes are wrong. And of course, that's the beauty of jazz, isn't it? And that's the beauty of Steely Dan. Thank you guys so much for watching.